What is going on, New York Giants fans? How you living? Welcome to another video from HITSQUAD Productions, man. In this video, we're going to talk about what I consider to be the single most important toilet bowl game in the NFL in recent years. Yes, in recent years, this game coming up on Sunday is the most important toilet bowl in the NFL. And this week, we got the Chicago Bears. But before we do that, I want to say, if you're new to the channel, tackle that like button and sack the subscribe button. Help me get to 400 subscribers. Join the Hit Squad. Now let's get into this video. So, as you guys know, we own Chicago's first round pick. This game is crucial. I cannot stress that enough, how crucial this game is. You can make a very compelling argument that this should be the only game the Giants win for the rest of the year. I don't mind us beating Chicago and then losing to Washington. I can live with that. But what I can't live with is losing to Chicago and losing to Washington. And I'm going to explain why. Now, Chicago, they're coming off a very impressive win against the Seattle Seahawks, 25-24, in a game that, honestly, I thought the Seahawks were going to win. The Seahawks have not been looking too good, but the Bears haven't been looking good either. Let's be honest. Outside of that Seahawks game, they were on a 3-game losing streak. Granted, against good teams, but the Bears have been underperforming. They may have a new head coach next year. I don't think Matt Nagy stays that much longer, but Bears aren't a good team. On the flip side, neither are the Giants. The Giants, we don't even look like a football team out there. We look like a pee-wee football team. That's how bad we look. We don't score touchdowns. We score field goals. They call us the New York Field Goal Giants. It's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing how bad this football team is. And what better game for you to somewhat bounce back than against the Chicago Bears? Now I'm going to go over some pros and cons to this game and really how I feel about this toilet bowl. Now, here's a pro for you. Now, if the New York Giants were to beat the Chicago Bears, that lowers their first round pick. You know, with Chicago beating the Seahawks, we went from having the 5th and the 6th pick to then us having our 5th pick and the Bears going to the 8th pick. We cannot have that. We need the Bears pick as low as possible for a variety of reasons. One, let's say you don't trade back. You get 2 perennial players, back-to-back picks potentially. If you wanted to trade up, you could use those 2 picks to trade up. If you wanted to trade down, I think we could all agree that if that Bears pick is lower, closer to where ours is at, we could get a lot more value, plus get a perennial player wherever we pick at, and potentially get another first round pick. And looking at, what would cause the Bears to jump down to where we are, really we're going to need the Panthers to beat the Saints, which I could see that because the Saints don't have a QB right now. The Seahawks need to beat the Lions, which, the Lions are looking pretty good, but I think that the Seahawks should beat the Lions. So those 2 wins right there, plus us beating Chicago, would bring Chicago back down towards us, which is exactly where we need them. Now, another pro would be that if we were to beat the Chicago Bears, that this would keep head coach Joe Judge's position safe for another week. Now, a lot of Giants fans want Joe Judge gone, and I can't blame them. I can't. I personally want Joe Judge to stay and help, for him to build his team fully. I really think that he kind of came into this situation handicapped from management to offensive line. You can make an argument to quarterback. So I really want Joe Judge to add more of his guys to this roster, as well as in the front office, and really help him build this team and see this out, because right now it's not looking too good. Now, with a win, as well as the Panthers winning and the Seahawks winning, our personal pick would still be in the same position where it's at right now, which is a good thing. And again, it would lower the Chicago's Bear pick all the way down to where we need it to be. And again, the lower, the better. Now, a win would also be very good for this locker room, and that's the last thing that Joe Judge and the Giants need, is to lose this locker room. Now, there are some cons to this, right? Now, if the Giants were to lose to Chicago, which, hey, it's likely, the way that we've been playing, it's very likely. I don't see many teams in this league, very few, that we could beat the way that we're playing. but a loss would put Chicago's pick a lot further down, which again is bad, and the loss would also make a stronger case to fire Joe Judge. Now, it did come out that Joe Judge is safe for next year, but you got to think that a loss like this and another loss to Washington possibly would give, John Mara, really the push that he needs to fire Joe Judge. Now, I don't want to see that happen, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan of the New York Giants. I want what's best for the New York Giants. Now, outside of the obvious, this is Saquon's game back in Chicago. He did have that injury last year in week 2. Brutal injury, man. I mean, Saquon's being asked idiotic questions by the media. I know that video by Bobby Skinner is kind of going around, which was pretty funny. Shout out Bobby Skinner. But yeah, man, it's just it's really sad to see where this organization is going, and that we have to rely on either losing or making sure that other teams lose so that we can get a better draft pick, which isn't too bad, but still. So to me, this is the most important toilet bowl game in the NFL. And really the Giants should win this game. They have to win this game. I believe Nick Foles is going to be playing. I think that our defense fares well going against Chicago's offensive line. But again, you can make that same argument for the Chicago Bears. Robert Quinn is having an amazing season per usual. I believe he has either 15 or 17 sacks right now. It's ridiculous. So our offensive line is going to be in a heap of trouble in this game. Whether we have Glennon start or Jake Fromm, doesn't really matter. We're going to be in for a rude one in this game. So I think the New York Giants win this game. Again, we have to win this game. I don't have a score yet, but let me know your thoughts below. How you guys feeling, Giants fans? And let's stick this out. We got one more game after this until our season is done, and then we can look forward to the draft. And then we have one more game until Gettleman is gone. So let us know your thoughts below. Follow us on Twitter. What do you think is the main key to beating the Chicago Bears? Do you want us to beat the Chicago Bears? Let us know your thoughts below. Until then, we'll see you guys later.